somebody decided to get a little lippy. And we're gonna play that last. We got a bunch of other Opie clips. We try to check up on Opie every week or so, or every 2 weeks. We try to check and see what Opie's up to. And Opie decided to take a little quick 60-second shot at steel toe here, which I got to be honest with you, fair enough. I mean, certainly we've taken our shots at Opie before, but Opie, when he fires back at steel toe, is usually kind of, it's real quick. It's in and out. It's like, where's the drop?
Why would I get involved with a steel toe?
So exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's what Opie, but I guess we must have bothered him more lately. You know what it might be, Corey? It might be the Compound Show.
Yeah, it might be like a seeing allegiances because him and Anthony are fighting, right? Like they still don't get along.
Hate each other. They absolutely hate each other.
But is that they hate each other when they work with each other. So like, is there hate like?
Well, when they weren't making millions of dollars hating each other anymore, then they could openly hate each other.
I guess.
So there's that. Well,
I feel like they were real fine with openly hating each other when they were making millions of dollars together.
There's a couple of people who Opie is kind of, well, 3 people, I guess now, 4 maybe, that Opie is openly complaining about now. There's us, which I'm honored. There's Karl from Who Are These Podcasts. There's who's been going hard on Opie lately. There's oh God, who's the other one? Joe Rogan and Anthony. He is really hung up on Joe Rogan lately, like he's Brittany Mahomes at this point.
You just couldn't resist, could you?
Yeah, but there were a few people that when we got that compound thing, like they started getting really snippy and cunty with us. And it's like, dude, all we did was get an offer from a show and we did the show and people apparently really liked it and we'll be doing another one. And I don't really see how it affected anyone else, but there were people like in that podcast space who got really cunty with us. And that was kind of the beginning of the end of a lot of our association with that, because we're just like, and I was told from other people over there, like, don't even engage in that shit. It'll never stop. And just let people go and be jealous. It's fine. So I can only imagine what the second one's going to do. At any rate, let's catch up with Opie's psychotic hatreds about other people. Let's start first with our friend, Karl, over at Who Are These Podcasts, who has taken an interest in Opie lately.
Who Are These Podcasts already trashed your beer? Whatever, dude. It's so weird, these low-level podcasts. Like, I was talking to my agent the other day, and they're aware of these low-level podcasts attacking.
Yes! Opie is aware of us, and Opie's agent is aware of us.
Right, that's the part of this that I think a lot of these people don't realize, is that it's all just, you're talking about us. That's awesome.
Right, we're just, again, as we do this with smiles on our faces, we cannot say this enough. We're having a good time until we're not. And then when we're not, you will know because we will stop talking about you. When, either when it gets boring or, I'll be honest, I'll give away 2 secrets. It gets a little too personal and I'm like, oh, this is cringe. I'm going to get out. Or if you just don't mention us.
Like, if it's not like going back and forth can be fun. If it's not fun, it's not fun. Who cares?
If it's not fun, it's
not fun.
But
at the end of the day, it's like you look at like Patrick flaming me up or whatever, and it's like, yeah, but now I'm on your show and I don't have to deal with you. This is a win-win.
This is a victory, yeah. I mean, I think when you're trying to get into the pro wrestling drama aspect of it, those people do drive themselves nuts, like a Patrick. Yeah. But like us, when we're just being cheeky and little shitheads, it's like, it's just a good time. It's just a way to kill a few minutes.
But they can't get to, like, it's so funny because people think they're going to get to me. And I feel like this happens with you too. Like, people think they're going to get to you or me because it's like, oh, we're going to do all this shit. And it's like, that doesn't, like, I don't care. I'm just busting balls. Oh, right. It got too personal. Like you're getting personally invested in this. So I don't care anymore because it's not funny to me because now it just feels like I'm picking on a handicapped person.
Right. Like you've gone mental and started making it personal. And you're like, oh, you know what? This is where I went in the last week. I went, oh, these people don't get it. I'm going to walk away. Like, oh,
See, and
these
I was
people
watching
don't
us.
understand.
I loaded up the YouTube and I saw like we were on every channel, and I was like, "This is kind of awesome." You know, yeah, they're talking shit, but they don't like. It's great. Who cares?
This is fucking great. This is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm the belle of the ball. I'm the talk of the town, and I'm not even saying anything back. Like, it's all just one-way traffic. Just this, hey, wait, Steel Toe said they're done because we're a little too mental. Come back. Why don't you come back? We hate you. Why don't you come back here? It's like,
My favorite thing of the weekend though was Pat saying like, I got this new lead, this and that, and he literally was like talking about Johnny talking shit about us, but it was a Dave account.
right. And then like he'll go, did you see Corey's accusations from? Yeah, we made fun of them on the show.
Yeah, like 3 years ago. You can go back and listen to all those episodes.
Did you know Aaron got?
But it's just like, it was so funny because it was like this dossier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got something nobody else has. Look at the people within the house are throwing stones.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's fucking a Dave account, bro.
The biggest problem they have is they take it seriously. That's
Right. That's the thing.
problem.
Is the moment you take it seriously, you can't have fun with it. And it I think it's fun to talk shit. Let's do it.
Yeah. And now Opie, here's the irony about Opie, and we'll get to his who are these podcasts thing, is that he's going, oh, these low-level podcasts. Hey, I'm the first one to raise my hand. Hey, Corey, raise your hand if you're a low-level podcaster. Hey. Yes.
Wait, hold on.
Not only a low-level podcaster, e-beggar as well. I mean, I am gross. I'm a mangy mutt. And I'm just biting some ankles here and there. Like the Joker says, I'm a dog chasing cars. It's nothing personal. So when I say it's nothing personal, you know it's true. So
Are you going to introduce a little chaos?
I'm going to introduce a little chaos. That's all. For fun. So Opie's agent knows about us. I got to say this. What's the point of being Opie's agent? Like, couldn't Opie be his own agent at this point?
I don't want to be mean to Opie, but what are the odds that he doesn't have an agent? He's just saying that. Like, I feel like he's a guy that used to have an agent.
He does lie a lot. You know, you go back in the Opie and Anthony days, and he did lie about a lot of stuff. Like, he lies about Howard Stern constantly. Our last video about Opie was him lying about Howard, saying, oh, yeah, Howard tried to shut us up back when we were in Boston. Like, no, he didn't. I just never,
I was always more, that we talked about this a million times. I was always more of a Howard Stern guy. O&A was good too. I'm not going to, they were good, but it's weird because he wasn't the show. But once Patrice O'Neill died, it just kind of came on. It was weirdly, he seemed to be the glue holding them together, and he wasn't even there all the time.
And I'll admit, I was more of an Anthony guy than a Howard Stern guy. But as far as a show, I think the Howard Stern show was funnier. I thought Anthony was the funniest personality out of all of them, but as a whole show.
Well, and and I've said that about Howard. I preferred Howard as a show, but to me, Howard Stern was always the worst part of his own show.
Kind of like Opie. Like Opie's a glorified producer.
Yeah, he's Gary, right?
Yeah, he's a glorified producer. But he says, my agent knows about these low-level podcasts. Well, get me a fucking gig, bro. You see anything you like?
Low-level podcasts. Like, I was talking to my agent the other day, and they're aware of these low-level podcasts attacking me. And you know what they said? The one guy, he goes, I Googled some of these people. Nothing comes up.
That's not true, Corey. If you Google me, accusations of sexism, misogyny, and the most offensive radio show you've ever heard comes up the minute you Google my name.
Oh, my God, Boo. Same.
You and I, the biggest misogynists out there when you Google our names.
Well, that's the thing that's really funny is you really just take away all their power. Because again, who cares? I said, I was laughing all this. You and I, we were texting. I was like, holy shit, dude. Have you seen YouTube? We're on every fucking channel.
Yes, we made it.
He goes, nothing comes up. They have done absolutely nothing with their careers. Literally nothing.
And we have dozens of times more fans than you do now watching our stuff. I mean, again, that's not the own you think it is. Yes, you're right. You have accomplished way more in your career. Keyword, have. You have accomplished way more in your career than probably I ever will. That day of radio is dead. So you have, absolutely. But in the here and now, Steel Toe's a bigger name than Opie in terms of audience size and things like that. So... sorry, pal. Unless
he does a reunion with Anthony, then
it'll blow up. Yeah, it'll be bigger than we ever could be. But you accuse us of riding coattails. You'd have to ride Anthony's coattails and Jimmy's coattails in order to get that back.
Which to his credit, he doesn't seem willing to do.
No. That he does deserve a lot of, you're right. Opie deserves credit for
I will always give Opie credit for that shit. It's like at any point in time, Opie probably could have made some apologies he didn't mean and get his career kind of back, but he has too much pride, and I respect him for that.
And not only that, he did start doing an actual show recently. It's a beer show where he does like 10 minutes, like reviewing a beer. I mean, it's boring and terrible, but at least he's doing a show, which is, he's giving it a shot. He's doing.
When's the last time he was doing a show? Was it O&A?
No, he did a podcast.
Did stuff after, right?
He did a podcast for a while for Westwood, yeah.
Nothing on the Google. Nothing. And they're attacking me. Jesus.
Again, with the word attack, we're not attacking you. We're watching you yell on a beach and we're teasing you a little. We're making fun. We're teasing.
Can we just talk real quick about people who say the Google?
Yeah, we do need to talk about senior citizens. That reminds me, folks, this show is now brought to you by AARP. Remember to sign up for all of your discounts and benefits at aarp.org. Thank you.
Go do your show and become somebody.
I'm trying.
But the people,
it's hard, Opie. I'm not very good.
my agent looked up. He's like,
I concur. He's not very good.
Up on these people. I'm like, I know, man. They're like, they're full of themselves. They think they're setting the world on fire.
Yep, accurate.
And they're just a low-level podcast that attacked me to maybe get more people watching their shit.
Guilty.
The guy, this is what I actually like about Opie. I feel like we can have a back and forth with this guy until the world stops turning. Because
he's not emotionally vested in it. He's just talking a little shit, and he's like, yeah, I don't know who the fuck these people are. There's some low level thing that's basically clout chasing me, and I was like, whatever. But it's nothing about what he's saying feels like he's taking it personally or doesn't understand.
Right. He's shitting
he's
shitting on us back. You're a bunch of nobodies. You're this and that. And then our shitting on him back is owning what he's saying, going, yes, absolutely. But you can't, it's a little weird. You can't have it both ways. You can say that I'm going to bust balls with this guy until it gets too personal, then I'm going to tap out. You can do that. We've proved that. But one thing you can't do is you can't go, these guys are nobodies. They're not worth my time. They're low-level podcasters. They're nothing on Google. So they've done nothing with their lives. And then you can't make video after video after video about them. That would be as disingenuous as me saying, I don't care about Opie. That's not fair. I can't say that. I've done a bunch of stuff making jokes and shitting on, not shitting on, but goofing on Opie. I clearly care about Opie. It's funny to me. So you can't, there's a little bit of phoniness in there from Opie.
I have no idea. No idea, but they literally have nothing going on still in their careers.
True.
I would love to know how old some of these people are, and I would
36. Corey?
42.
There you go.
Compare where I was in my career to them, and it would not be.
You're 60, so that would be you're 24 years older than me. 24 years ago was 1999. You were just about to blow up in syndication when you were my age. So, maybe, who knows, in the next couple of years, maybe some things take off for the old steel toe, Hope.
Pretty. It would not be pretty. So just do your dumb show. Realize that attacking other shows is a good bit here and there, but if you rely on just that, you ain't going anywhere in this business. I'm telling you right now.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's fair. You know what? Oh, shit, but he's shitting on Karl from Who Are These Podcasts, and I love Karl. He's right, though. Like, if you look how we do our show. 4 hours of news, entertainment, pop culture. And then, you know what? A little treat at the end. We'll goof on some people. We'll bust some balls. That's a good formula, if you ask me. But he is right. There's a lot of shows out there, and they're doing well now, but it doesn't last very long, where if all you do is just agonize and shit on and just get angry at people, you're going to fade away and fall apart. You'll blow up hot for a little bit. You'll get really hot, but then you'll fall apart. I think where Karl does it right on Who Are These Podcasts is he's just making fun.
It's not personal.
I've never seen Karl get mad. I've never seen Karl get personal. It's always fun. So you know what? I agreed with a lot of what Opie said there. You can't say it doesn't bother you. And then
you're
go on that
You're
rant.
talking about it out loud on another podcast. It's bothering you.
You know how you show it doesn't bother you? You play it like we do and you go, yep, low-level podcast.
Yeah,
Yep,
whatever.
scumbag. Yep.
Eh.
Haven't accomplished near what you have in your life. Like I like this because it's
Wait,
not.
so we're guilty of not being O&A. That's what I'm learning here.
Right. Neither of us
So we're guilty. We're guilty of being not being arguably the best shock rock show in history. Again, you could say Howard Stern is one, but I think most people will agree, no matter which is your favorite, Stern and O&A are 1 and 2.
Yeah, exactly.
So the biggest crime we have is we're not 1 or 2 all time. Good one. You got us. Holy fuck, you got us, bro.
Damn it. Yes, you're right, Opie. I, too, couldn't find one of the funniest people alive to latch myself onto like a barnacle. I apologize.
That's not true. I'm right here.
Oh, sorry, Corey. So now, here's another one, a quick 1-minute clip. Remember, we've been covering this because we took Opie at his word in 2022, and I'm really disappointed. Corey, he said he was going to stop talking about Opie and Anthony in 2023. So I took Opie at his word, and I actually placed bets in Las Vegas on this, and I lost on January 19th, I was informed. So I wasn't able to get... So Opie kind of fucked me out of some money here, so I do take this personally, and I'm sorry. But here he is talking again about Opie and Anthony.
Hope someday you and Ant can, at the very least, make up. Ew!
Okay. I'm taking that as a maybe.
Anthony's not the type of person I want to be around. It just simply comes down to that.
He likes to drink beer and sing karaoke. He sounds like an absolute delight to be around, and believe me, he's not even paying me any money to say that. I'm serious. He's not.
I do believe you that he's not.
Yes. I'm getting paid in exposure and dreams, and I love it. But yeah, not the kind of person I want to make up with. Like, yeah, I don't want to make up with the kind of person whom a reunion with could net me maybe millions of dollars over the next couple of years. That's not the kind of person I want to make
That's why I don't have an agent anymore. He just kept telling me to do it.
I'm at peace with the whole damn thing. It doesn't look like it sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Because I got some bitterness in my black heart.
Well, wait a minute. That's a contradiction. You can't say I'm at peace with it and then say I've got bitterness in my black heart. That is a funny little contradiction.
Well, I think the fact that they didn't get along is what made the show so good.
I am HIV negative. I've just got some AIDS. Which one is it?
Whoa. All right.
But
negative on the HIV, positive on the AIDS.
Yes.
But he's just not the type of person I want to be hanging out with. I'm sorry.
You don't have to hang out with him. Do what you did the last 10, 15 years of your career. Show up, scowl at each other, go, fuck you, and the other one goes, fuck you too, and then turn on the music, and make some jokes for a few hours and then go home. And then when you get home, you can go, I fucking hate that guy, he's a piece of shit, and then cash bigger checks than you have in the last 10 years. Perfect.
Seems like a life.
Yeah, you don't have to like the guy. Opie, maybe Opie's confused. Opie, when people say you should make up with Anthony, they're not saying you got to blow him. Like, they're just saying, why don't you guys do a show together?
We don't know exactly what they're saying behind closed doors.
That's true. That's true. You know what? Maybe I can ask
like Anthony seems like he can hold a grudge, so who knows what his demands are.
I'll ask Eric Nagel. I'll ask Bossman Nagel. Maybe there have been terms that have thrown out by Compound Media that if I knew them, I would say are rather unreasonable. Okay?
Yeah, all right.
I'm not positive. So we're giving Opie a lot of the benefit of the doubt in this segment today. Perhaps he has been, what do you call that? He's been propositioned for terrible things, and that's part of the reason he's a no-go.
You're not going to get the fairy tale ending. You're just not. You're not going to get that Hollywood ending where everything is just a effing mess through, an hour and a half of the movie, and then the last 10 minutes, it's beautiful. You ain't getting that.
God damn it. Well, I was going to cast you as Matthew McConaughey and her as Kate and Anthony as Kate Hudson, and now you're fucking
it was going to be so good, Opie.
Damn it. Well, at least he's done talking about Opie and Anthony, you know?
Yeah.
It's just good that he's done with all that shit. So then Opie said a few days ago that Joe Rogan is now not... Before we thought that he was just kind of annoyed by Joe Rogan. Apparently now... Joe Rogan has moved from annoyed to he's on Opie's hate list. Now, you remember Wrestling Otaku put us on the bitch list. Joe Rogan is now on Opie's hate list. And again,
I got to say, too, once we got on the hate list of Otaku or whatever his name, Otako, whatever his name is, I went through and looked at some of his YouTube videos. And I do have to apologize. He did crack me up. Like, it's pretty funny.
I like Otaku. I really, he's like,
I didn't like when you showed it to me that first day that I like was interacting with it. I didn't think I liked it, but after watching a few of them, like, it's pretty great. And I don't even care if it's a work or a shoot. It's good.
See, I put Opie and Wrestling Otaku in the same place. We can have some fun together, I think. Eric Nagel says we didn't even get the movie that was paying to use O&A clips, and he refused when everyone else signed off. Oh, what a dick.
Jesus, is that real?
Just because you don't need the money doesn't mean other people don't need the money. It probably would have been nice.
And he wasn't even gonna. He didn't even have to be there. All he had to do was just sign off, and they'd use clips. That's a prick move.
Just sign off on it. That's it.
That's not, man. There's got to be just some crazy, like, did one of them fuck each other's wife or something? I mean, there's got to be some crazy bad blood there.
Got to be something.
Like, what do you like? Okay, check it out. Like, obviously, you're not a big fan of the old radio station we used to work for, right? Like, but if they came up to you and they're like, hey, here's a bunch of money. We're going to use old clips from Steel Toe back in the radio days. And you don't even have to fucking talk to Gary. You would sign that shit so fucking quick.
Not only would I sign it, I would also talk to Gary, and I would also say, well, for this amount of money you're paying to use all these Steel Toe clips, do you want me to voice track some stuff for them? Do you want me to come in and record some things?
Yeah. Like, I'll come in and we can interact like human beings again.
Yeah, that's business.
Speaking of which, I got something that somebody just texted. Mr. Approachable just hit me up about this because this is something that I said on my show like a few weeks ago, and they're like, "Did you ever tell Aaron that?" I'm like, I don't know that I ever have.
What's that?
So here's a fun radio story from yesteryear that I don't think you've ever been privy to. This is like the third month I'm working for the station, right?
Okay.
And you know how Gary used to just grab me and like make me sit in the office while you just ramble at me and his like weird ass divide and conquer bullshit? Yeah, so one of the times you had left, I think you had like a meeting with someone, I think it was like Old Cap or something, right? Yeah, I ran out of thoughts. Here we go. I talked about this. So this is great. So we're talking and he goes, I have to go do something in the studio. Do you want to come with? And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. And we walk into the studio, right? And this dude walks right over to the soundboard and starts fucking with the knobs and sliders. And I said, what are you doing? And he goes, oh yeah, I like to fuck with these every now and again. It really fires Aaron up. And then he told me that I was not to tell you, and I never did because, one, I forgot about it, and then it just never seemed relevant, but I was saying it on the show. I can't even remember what happened. We were just talking about the radio days, and I was like, yeah, that's when I knew this guy was kind of a fucking cocksucker, but kind of funny. Yeah. So he would go in there, and he would literally rearrange the soundboard and tweak with it to make it sound like shit just to get your goat. I don't know that you've ever known that till right now.
Now, I will tell you this. That's very funny if you're a program director. If you're the owner of the station, it's kind of a dumb fucking move. But
right?
Yeah. All right. Well, now that answers that question. I think he didn't like it because I always shit on the other jocks when that would happen. I was like, you guys, none of you.
No, he said he liked it. He said it fired you up and he likes to get you fired up. You're funnier that way. Yeah. That's what he said.
So yeah, I would shit on them and I would be like, none of you guys do live radio. You don't need to do this. You can leave it the way I do it and you can do it the way I do the knobs. None of you do anything. Just leave it the way I like it. I get it.
Yeah, and it was something that like I remember I would come in because he made me promise not to tell you, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, fine, whatever. And so
thanks for your loyalty, cunt.
What?
I said thanks for your loyalty, cunt.
Whatever. It was super funny to me though, because my favorite part is like I would come in there every now and again and you'd be flipping over and I'd just be laughing to myself.
Yeah.
Because there was like one day I walked in and you were literally throwing microphones everywhere. You're like, why are they touching it? None of them do anything but the voiceover bay. This is fucking bullshit.
It's true.
And I forget what it came out with. Like when I was talking about it, like it was Mr. Approachable specifically. He's like, did you ever tell Aaron that? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm sure he knew. And then he's like, I don't think he does. I'm like, all right.
I had no clue. What do you want?
Isn't that a great little member berry from yesteryear?
That is kind of fun. All right, I've got Joe Rogan on Opie's hate list like Howard Stern, and I've got Steel Toe, just another phony from Opie. In fact, Charlie,
Let's go, Opie. Let's keep on track. Like, we can always go to Rogan. Let's keep on track.
All right, so here's Opie talking steel toe for a minute. All right, so this person wrote in and said that they're not going to listen to steel toe anymore because of making fun of Opie, and very sad to lose them.
Toe is another phony, another low-level phony. He was trying to get me on his podcast, and he was incredibly nice to me.
Right!
Oh, how dare you be incredibly nice to a guy you idolized.
Ready for this fucking story, Ope? This is where I need to spank this little boy and put him back to bed, because my video my video on this is going to do way more views than what does Opie's steel toe video have? It's probably one of his bigger ones in the last week. 790. That is higher because he usually does 400 or 500. So Opie doing pretty well using steel toe's name like a lot of people. Let's put the facts out there, cunt face, on why Aaron is shitting on you now. You treated me like a piece of dog shit. I reached out to you. I was very nice. You're right, Ope. I was very nice to you. And you agreed to come on the show. And then you got scared because someone said, and by the way, someone didn't say, you went and started obsessively listening to the show. I heard you say some quasi-offensive remark. His quote was, you said, yeah, Opie may not be very funny, but at least he has a great family. And I'm like, that's a fucking compliment, you dimwit. Did you think you were the funny one on that show, you delusional red-haired prick? So he's going to play it up now and say, oh yeah, steel toe, he was really nice to me. Yeah, until you were a prick. And then you were a prick to me. And I was like, oh, I got to tell this story on the show. Again, I can make fun of Opie for this one. And then you started saying more wacky, wild shit. So we started having more fun with you. And you said, that I'm not funny, but at least I have a family. I don't think I want to go on your show. I'll revisit you in the fall. It was that dismissive, I'll revisit you in the fall, where I'm like, dude, this isn't Opie and Anthony anymore. You're not that fucking guy who can just go, out of here, please, peasant. I'll revisit you later if I feel like it. And I'm like, no. I'm not going to sit around like some cuck and wait till the fall till you reevaluate my status in the Opie-verse. Now I'm going to break your balls a little bit. And that's where we are now. I have no problem with the relationship Opie and I have right now, which is I'm a small-time, nobody, low-level podcaster. He's an even smaller, nobody, low-level podcaster with a smaller audience. And we break each other's balls back and forth. The has been and the never was. That can be our whole dance that we're doing together. But
that's your show together if he comes on.
Yeah, the has been and the never was.
Yeah,
it's a good show. But like Opie can't just gloss over and go, yeah, he was really nice to me. Then he's a phony and started attacking me. You're leaving out a big part there, princess. Now who's being a phony?
And
you can call it the fighter. The fighter and the kidding himself.
The fighter and the kidding himself. Opie, didn't you try to pay someone to shut down a fan for him? Not even during the worst hate? Ant did that.
You know what? Maybe it's time to maybe do some of these shows, right? And this guy was being incredibly nice. I'm a fan. I looked up to you when I was younger. All this really nice stuff.
Absolutely.
Like, oh. And then I followed him on Twitter.
Yeah.
Then I think there were a couple DMs.
Yep.
Got to get my story right.
So far, true.
And
got to get his story right.
I don't have to.
Why would you say that?
Yeah.
No. Why would he say that if he's just like telling the story?
Yeah, I don't have to get my story straight.
No. I think he was talking about him.
That's what I mean. Yeah. I don't have to get my story straight. I just know what happened.
Got to get my story straight.
Deeper, I'm like, you're trashing me on your. What are you doing?
No, you're a sensitive little girl, Opie. I was talking about the Opie. He sent the DM, and I swear to God, I still have it. He sent the DM. The clip of the show, the timestamp. He went so deep into it. This was a 4.5 hour morning show. I was talking about the Opie and Anthony show, the breakup, the whole thing, breaking down everyone's role. And I'm like, Opie got a lot of shit. You know, Opie may not be the funniest guy in the world. He's not very funny, but at least he has a family. He built a life for himself. Good for him. Opie is so sensitive that he couldn't even take that criticism, and he pulled the plug on the interview and said, I'll revisit you in the fall. So, Opie, don't play victim on this one, sweetie pie. You're the one who turned tail and ran away from the interview. And yes, I'm sorry. I lost a lot of respect for you when you did that. And I feel like, too,
I said,
you know what? I'm going to make fun of this guy now because I lost respect. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I feel like you too, because somebody just pointed out if you guys did a show together, you could still call it O&A. But the thing about it is, like, at this point, you'd be the A side, so they would have to call it A and O.
I bring the bigger audience to the table.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, it wouldn't be O&A, it would be A and O.
See, there's two things Opie has to remember. One, when he calls us a low-level podcast, he's absolutely right. But two, that plays in our favor in this case, not to our detriment, because we still get way more views than you do now.
Right. Like, if we're the low-level podcast, what does that make him at this point in his career?
I mean, honestly, I'm punching down. I'm
a live blogger?
Yeah. Beach blogger.
And then I told him, I called him out, and I think he said something like "my bad" or whatever.
No, I didn't.
And then I wished him.
Not at all. I didn't say my bad. I said no. I clarified. Like, all I said was this. I remember saying in the DM, I said, I'm sorry. I didn't think that was very bad. I didn't think you'd be sensitive about that. And that was it. And then he's like, I'll revisit you in the fall.
He's got the DMs. I wished him all the best. I go, but I can't do your show. You're kind of two-faced. You were really, really nice to me. And then I did a little research and found out you were trashing me.
Opie, if that's trashing, then you are way too thin-skinned to be a part of this. I didn't tap out of certain people until my fucking family got brought into it. You're going to tap out because you were cunty to a guy and dismissive and went, I'll revisit you in the fall. And he went, oh, well, this guy's kind of a dick. I'm going to make fun of him. Like, that to you is too far? Opester, come on, buddy.
But he's just another low-level podcast.
True.
Guarantee if you Google him, nothing comes up.
Corey, should we do the test?
Yeah.
Here we
Let's do
go.
it.
Aaron Imholt. All right, Steel Toe Morning Show. There's the Instagram. There's the Central Minnesota Morning Show host resigns after repeatedly. There you go. BringMeTheNews.com. All the radio show shit. All that stuff comes up, Opie. It comes up when you Google me. I'm a vicious misogynist. How dare you?
Nothing comes up. His claim to fame is beating up other podcasts. Woo!
Ooh.
That is dangerous.
Hey, Ope, you're the only one saying it's dangerous.
You're the one talking about a low-level podcast on the beach with a dog behind you. Let's calm down with what's dangerous, buddy.
Yeah, I don't think I ever said I was dangerous. I think I said I'm taking the piss out of you. That's all. Yeah, he goes, peasant shoe, go away. I don't know why the guy thinks I'm a dick. Oh, yeah.
Soup Can said he forgot about Jocktober.
That's true, yeah. Oh, I'm famous for bullying. No, I'm not. I'm famous for talking about shit, and then at the end, we goof on people. But yeah, he goes, you're just making fun of people all the time. Yeah, I mean, I don't believe I took a whole month of my show and just shit on people all the time. I don't believe I did that. Eric Nagel says, nothing emphasizes a point like jazz hands. Exactly.
That's right.
We Totted says he actually nailed it. Well, he got close. He was close with Low Level Podcast, but then he kind of got a little amnesia as to how this whole thing came about and fell right off the course. That's all right. We still, you know what? I still adore Opie. And you're right, Corey. You know what? Maybe we talk to Eric Nagel. Maybe we revitalize, we resurrect the O&A show, but it's Opie and Aaron on Compound Media.
Yeah. I'm into that, but I don't know that he'll sign off on it, buddy.
That's what the people want to see. I think he'll love it and we'll have a great time together. It was all a big misunderstanding.